folks. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
And I'm Sam Healy. What's up, y'all?
It wasn't quite as...
That's
All right.
Yes.
Sam
We've
has,
done this before.
Sam has
in
drunk
an
a lot of
alternate
coffee.
universe.
Okay. So, we're going to Essen.
We are?
I'm glad to finally have confirmation.
Yes!
I know,
I'm
right?
excited.
I mean, last weekend he was
I can
like,
finally
don't know,
make a little
guys.
list of something I'm looking forward to.
I know, right?
In fact, I should do that right now.
You couldn't even think of it. Here's the deal. When I went to Board Game Geek, they have a convention preview. You can go there. You can also go to Tabletop Together. I also like Tabletop Together because they have you can sort it by halls, and so you can go in order and things.
Right.
But on the Board Game Geek one, there was 897 entries. Now, I was like, all right, no. I just want to know what's for sale there. And it was like 837 or something like that.
Right.
Essen doesn't have a lot of preview stuff like Gen Con does.
Right. I mean, you are getting duplicate languages in that list.
Right, that's what I was
So you'll
just
get
about
the
to say,
same
yeah.
release from a company that puts it out in, let's say, German or French, and then you'll have the same release put out by a company that puts it out in English.
A lot of those games are games that we've already seen published here, or maybe they were even released at Gen Con, and now these are the German or the French or the Spanish versions
Correct.
of those same games.
And if we take all those out, we're still left with like 400 games.
Right.
Yes.
It's a ton of games that are coming out there.
More than a few.
This is a horrible year for board gaming.
So, we're making our top 10 anticipated games based on basically just knowledge and guessing and
Research.
Mostly
Research and mostly guessing.
Ooh, that's pretty. Goes on the list.
So we're going to go through those. I did not put any games
One
that
of those
I've
is
already
actually on
played on the list.
Right.
And also, there's a couple games that we will be doing reviews of soon. Like, for example, we'll be doing a review of Charterstone soon.
Is that on your list?
So that's not any game that
Spoilers.
we're doing a review for. I didn't put on my list either.
Right.
Whether the review is good or bad.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is pretty much the same. There is only one game on my list that I have played before, but the version of the game that I played it in was a heavy prototype at this point, and so it's the number.
Okay.
I have that too.
So speaking of that,
Cryptic much?
I knew that they were both putting that particular game on the list.
What game?
I have marked on
You
my
don't
list.
know me.
I've marked on my list. I think I'm going to have 3 crossovers with Sam and 4 crossovers with Sam and 2 with Z. Actually, one of my crossovers
4.
is I'm not sure.
I highly doubt it.
Sam, 2, Z. I will tabulate and let you know how far off you are.
I don't think.
And I think we'll have 1 crossover that all 3 of us will have, and that's it.
1, all.
Why are you? Let's get started. Nonsense.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is a kids game, actually.
There's our crossover.
I know, right? Doesn't make sense. Because now look,
You have kids. I'm not.
I do have kids, but most of
they
my
don't get to
kids
play
are
games.
no, they do. Most of my kids are to the age where they can play the games that I play. They can
Okay.
understand the games that I play, and they enjoy the same kind of games that I
better.
enjoy. But this one, my youngest,
thought
Aiden,
he
he's
was about to
turning
say, I got
7.
grandkids and-
He's turning 7 this weekend. No grandkids yet. But my son is turning 7 this week, and he's like always asking me to play games.
Okay.
I'm getting tired of playing the games that he enjoys.
Okay.
Not that I don't like the fact that he enjoys them. I just want, he's starting to grow up, and he's starting to get to the age where maybe we can start enjoying some of the same games.
Okay.
And so this one is called Cafe Fatale, or Fatal. I don't know how you pronounce
It
it.
doesn't sound like a kid's
Sounds like
game.
a kid's game. Yeah.
I know, right?
Café Fatal.
It is dice rolling and set collection. That's all it is.
Okay.
So you're basically collecting sets of different kinds of foods and scoring points with them. That's
To
all
kill
it is.
someone with.
But it has really neat artwork. I don't know why they named it Cafe Fatal, unless it's some kind of other
you eat the
language.
food,
You die.
Right.
No, I have no idea why it's called Cafe Fatal. I love the artwork on it. And I like the fact that it goes down to 8 years old, which I think my son, even though he's only 7, can still handle. And I like the dice rolling. I like the set collection. So I'm looking forward to giving it a try. This is my first step into a whole new world. My number 10, Cafe Fatal.
My number 10 is it's on the list because I'm hoping it's really good, and that's Zularetto the Duel. This is
Yes,
from
Slayer version.
Abacus Spiel, Michael Schock, and it's A lot of times when they take these Euro games and make the two-player version, I really like them. Seven Wonders and all that stuff. And this one, I read the description. It sounded. I mean, you can play Zularedo two players anyway. You can play Coloretto. I think you can play Coloretto. You can definitely play Zularedo.
Coloretto has a two-player version as well.
Really?
It does.
Oh, that's just a card game anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well, either way, I like the idea of this. I've always liked Zularedo. I thought it was a cool game. A dual version of it, to be able to play quick with one of my kids or my wife, I think would go really well.
It's been so long. I think Zularedo has the thing where you have three trucks
Right. You
out
either
there.
add an animal or you take a truck with all the animals on it.
It's the same way. They adapt to two players the same way.
It adapts to this. Okay.
What it does, I mean, very briefly, what it does is instead of having the trucks or the stacks of cards that you put 3 cards in and then it locks down, in 2 players you have a stack of 1 card, a stack of 2 cards, a stack of 3 cards.
Okay.
That's
It's
what
probably
it does.
the same thing.
That's what it
or
does.
very
They both
similar. Yeah.
adjust.
But I'm still interested in it. I've always liked the idea, so I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an English publisher for it though.
Usually,
I only can find a back of Spiel.
Usually, I will say that I like the 2-player versions. You know, the small 2-player game versions better than the 2-player variants.
Usually they're focused,
better.
right, for that, yeah. All right, my number 10 is a game coming out from Tasty Minstrel Games, if I'm not mistaken, called Pioneer Days. And
Really?
Pioneer
Oh,
Days
wow.
is a dice drafting game with obviously an Old West like frontier setting, and it looks cool. It's got a neat, kind of vibe to it. And there's not a lot of information yet about the mechanisms and how that's going to work, but I do enjoy this idea of sort of rolling a pool of dice and then drafting from it. And I believe there's a little twist in regarding whatever's left in the dice pushes up some tracks of bad things that happen to you. So that's cool. I like that mechanism very much. That sort of drafting and reverse drafting. What you leave is just as important as what you take. Sounds neat. Very much looking forward to it. One more info on this one. That is my number 10, Pioneer Days.
Number 9.
All right, my number 9 is one that I could almost guarantee is not on these two guys' lists, and it's from Lookout/Mayfair Games, and that is Nusfjord. I couldn't find how to pronounce it on the internet. I looked. It's from Uwe Rosenberg, and it's one of his grandiose style games. However, it doesn't look as big as like Feast of Odin and Caverna and Agricola. It looks more like Glass Road, maybe. It's based on some island where there's fishing and there's resources, and who knows? I don't really care. I mean, it's going to be a game that I'm going to like or not. I don't.
Wow, I usually do that.
It looks like all his other games. Okay, I'm not gonna.
No, come on.
But I did read that there's like if you need money, you can sell shares in your thing, and then other players can buy shares of your area.
So it's the typical Uwe Rosenberg stuff, but with a stock market also. I despise stock market games.
Again, did not expect this to be on either of your lists, but I'm interested.
It was my
in this
number
one.
11.
Actually, I did look at it, mainly because I was like, ooh, is that a Viking game?
And then you were like, oh, no.
Click.
Click quickly.
All right, what do you got?
Not interested.
My number 9 is a small party game coming out from QSF. QSF Games, quick, simple, fun games called Muse. And Muse is the apparent jumping off point for this design. It was Dixit. The game has a lot of, from the glances I've had of it, really gorgeous artwork. But you are playing, it's a much more sort of party-ish atmosphere in which you are designating one player who is the Muse. They have a card that they are given by someone else that is a piece of artwork, and then also a category card. Like this is a world monument. Pick a world monument. And then that card and whatever you pick for the monument is going to get thrown in with a bunch of other random cards from the deck, and all the other players are trying to figure out which one is the original. See if the Muse speaks to them. Looks really simple, quick, light, gorgeous, as I said.
The card artwork is done by most of it's done by Andre Garcia, who he did the art for our dice towers, and
yeah.
he just does a really great
He's
job.
a very, very good artist, yeah. So I'm really excited for this one. Muse looks like something right up my alley. I'm looking forward to checking it out. That's my number 9.
And as far as I can tell from reading the rules, and the rules are really short, you can take the cards, those extra cards that give you the clues, take a giant stack of Dixit cards and play with it. I really think you could do that.
Probably.
So, all right, what do you got?
I'd like to muse on that.
The Muse of Nusfjord.
That's next. That's an expansion.
Yes. My number 9 is a game by Seiji Kanai. I believe he's known for the love letter stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
I actually wasn't really. I saw him and I almost bucked it off my list just because I'm not a love letter fan.
Okay.
And so I was like, it's coming from that guy. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it or not. But looked it up a little bit more. It's card drafting, dice rolling, and that's something that's going to pop up a lot on me. I don't know why. It's like the year of
You
dice
should
rolling
probably say the
games.
name of the game here, I think.
I already did.
Did he?
I know. No, I didn't.
Oh.
It's called Laurel Crown. Laurel Crown, and it's
Wow,
it's
that name is...
I know it sounds boring, right? It's a
It's hard to
horrible,
say, too.
horrible name.
Laurel Crown, Laurel Crown, Laurel Crown, Laurel
It's
Crown.
Laurel Crown. Laurel Crown by Seiji Kanai. It's card drafting, dice rolling. It's a gladiator style theme where you are drafting the different kinds of in a gambling, almost auction style format.
now we understand why you wanna play it.
You're trying to get these different gladiators into your school, and then you're going to send them into these different tournaments. And the tournaments are going to be determined by, you're going to roll dice to help determine the power of your warrior in the fight. And then those tournaments that you win will score you points, and so forth and so on. It sounds like it's an interesting game.
Huh.
And it doesn't sound anything like Love Letter that I can remember.
Sure.
So maybe I'll like it. I mean, the guy's a good designer. I just haven't liked this stuff in the past. So looking forward to giving it a try. Number 9, my number 9, Laurel Crown.
Laurel Crown, Laurel Crown.
Number 8.
Speaking of gambling dice games, my number 8 is a game called Wulong, and
How long?
it's about Wulong.
Who's Wulong?
I don't know. It's a character in the game, I assume, who
Oh,
has
is it?
taken
How's
every
it spelled?
W-U long. Yeah. Wulong.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's how you say that word.
I don't know. That sounds
Wulong.
fine. I just didn't know how to
Wulong.
spell it.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. It's very long.
I'm gonna name one of my grandkids that.
Anyway, this is a gambling dice style game in which you are. It sounded actually a little bit like. It sounds a little bit like what you just said, but mainly when I first read the description, it sounded like Celestia. Because it's this game
I'm
in
in.
which you. It sounds like you're gonna people are gambling. They're like betting on your rolling and whether you're gonna keep going or stop. It kind of sounds like that, and it sounds like a really straightforward game. It's got some cool looking artwork. It sounds like a really light game. It sounds like it could be good at a kind of casual get together. I'm really looking forward to it. It was this one was one of the last ones to make it on the list because I hadn't come across it yet. But when I did, the artwork caught my eye, and then the description just sounds like a really neat, simple, push your luck, kind of like mess with the other players, mess with their expectations, hope they bust maybe, that kind of game. So I'm really excited for it. Wulong is my number 8.
Cool. My number 8 is by Queen Games, and it has a Arthurian legend theme to it. It's called Merlin. It's going to have some
This has
different.
been getting a lot of buzz on the
It
internet.
has, and I really like the artwork that's involved. I looked at the
And the
board
designer,
and the components.
Who's the designer?
who's the
Stefan
designer?
Feld.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to get to that because it's point salad. There's
I
like
believe Sam has had some
different-
conversion this year.
No, I haven't had a
He
conversion.
just pulled a Rosenberg is what it is.
Pulled a Rosenberg?
Yeah, he
Is that
stopped
one of the
making
muscles
like
in your
little
body?
itty bitty bean games and went and made Agricola.
Oh.
That's what I call it. The Rosenberg transformation.
Does anybody else call it that?
No, just me.
Okay.
I actually have never said that out loud before.
Anyway, area controlled dice rolling again, worker placement, set collection. These are all mechanisms that I usually tend to gravitate towards. But basically, different knights are competing to be the King Arthur's heir. And you're trying to impress Merlin. That's why the game's named Merlin, is because Merlin is overseeing this pool of knights that are competing to try to be the King Arthur's successor. And so I don't know. I like the theme. I liked Knights Templar, which is a game that I usually don't like. Not that it's the same designer or anything like that. But Queen is coming back a little bit on my radar. So that's why I looked at this one a little bit more than I maybe would have in the past because of
Also, it was called Merlin.
How I like, yeah, it's called Merlin.
That's what I'm saying. That probably attracted you to it also.
Yeah, that too. I'm a sucker for Arthurian legend type stuff as well. So that's my number 8 from Queen Games, Merlin.
Well, like Tom said, it's been getting a good amount of buzz.
It really has. My number 8 is another game. Again, I know it's not on either one of your lists, and it almost shouldn't be on mine because I didn't like the game that this is following, Terra Mystica, and this is the Gaia Project.
Oh,
But-
that's what this is based.
Yeah, this is like the sequel to
cross it
Terra
off your
Mystica.
I'm not gonna have a number 7.
No, but the Gaia Project, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Terra Mystica, I felt like I could have liked it in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things I was like, eh. But with this, I saw the space board. It looks really cool. It's a pretty deep game. And honestly, if you like Terra Mystica, you're already in line to buy this one, right? But I'm going to try it because it looks cool. Although it looks like, like a Twilight Imperium style game. You're like, woo. Now, put your pieces on your board.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I want to give this another shot, right? Terra Mystica is very highly rated, and so I'm going to try it for the space theme, and whatever changes, will those be enough to sway me? I'm at least willing to try.
Weast Lily.
Weast Lily.
Laurel Crown.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm spoonerizing.
Chloral Lounge.
Anyhow, that's the Gaia Project.
Number 7.
All right, my number 7 is a game called Loot Island.
Oh, this was on my short list, actually.
Yeah, it just looks cool. Again, not a whole ton of info about this. It's actually a series of designer diaries that are being posted as we speak. He's up to 2 or 3, I think. He's done a few of them, and it looks cool. It looks like it has a tiny little board in the center, and it's mainly a card game. The board is more like a placeholder. But you are sort of laying out cards, making rows of cards, and it seems to have a set collection kind of vibe to it, where you can take that stack whenever that stack hits a certain point. Some of this is speculation, I'm not 100% sure yet, but it's got a good look. I like that theme anyway, that whole treasure hunting, find the loot in some
I just like the
hidden
name.
beach somewhere.
Loot Island.
I don't know if
Anywhere
I
you
would-
dig, you find something.
I don't know if I would call,
Laurel
if I was a
Island.
pirate and I was going to bury my booty, I don't know if I would call the island Loot Island. But be like,
Well, they did call the one Treasure Island, right?
Treasure Island.
I don't think it was actually
I
called
don't think
Treasure
they called
Island.
it that during piratey times. I'm gonna go by Treasure Island, folks. I'm not doing anything there you need to worry about.
There's big X's on the island.
It's like Island 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, Loot Island looks like a neat card game. Always excited by an interesting looking card game. That's why it's on the list. That's my number 7.
My number 7 is another game from Uwe Rosenberg, from Ludicali / Stronghold. It's the second in his tiling trilogy.
Fanboy.
And that is, well, not really, but this one I am interested in because of the style game. That's Indian Summer. I'm really becoming a big fan of these
That's the
tile laying
follow-up to
games.
Cottage Garden.
Yeah. And I really liked Cottage Garden a lot. And this one looks really cool with the autumn leaves all over. You're trying to cover up your forest floor. And the tiles also have like holes in them. I'm actually not sure why they have holes in them or whatever. But
Bad production. Just a bad production quality.
no, that's not why.
Oh,
But I really like Cottage Garden. I liked
Mistake.
Barren Park. I like this. I like Feast of Odin. This is Rosenberg has these shticks, right? He'll run with it for a while. The
for
same
a good
thing.
while, yeah.
But I'm okay with this tile laying thing. It's fun. So this one is one I'm excited about. That is, what's it called again? Indian Summer. That's also a cool name for
That
a
is
game.
a cool name. I gotta give him that.
The name
That's
is
a really-
good. The art looks great.
The name is so good that you forgot it 3 minutes after you said it.
Well, I understand that, but that's because of the brain. Have you seen Inside Out? I got the marbles about games, and they're just like, they're flipping those as soon as they come in. And they're like, he doesn't need
That's
this
actually a
marble.
pretty cool analogy.
That's good. It's
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, my number 7 has already been mentioned. It
Here
is
we
our
go.
first crossover
Here we go with whom?
with Mr. Garcia.
Oh,
Really?
Yes.
Is it the Wulong game?
No.
Oh, it's Loot Island.
No.
Muse.
No.
It's Pioneer Days.
That's correct.
It's the last
Really?
one. That
Yeah.
was literally the
Wow.
last one. it
Pioneer
could have been.
Days. TMG is doing this, as you already said.
Set that right, right?
Yeah, and it has a beautiful looking production,
Yep.
which is cool. I like that. I like aesthetically pleasing games. This one has card drafting. Really enjoy that, and yet more dice rolling. It has that Oregon Trail style theme to it, where you're trying to press your luck, you're trying to go forward, you're trying to do all this kind of stuff. Bad things are going to happen to you. It sounds interesting. It's a good-looking game, and I like the Old West as a theme.
Me too.
But here recently, it seems like if it's going to be Wild West, it's got this heavy game slapped onto it, and it's like lighter fare type games are very rare with this theme on it. So I'm hoping that this one isn't too heavy, like
I
Carson City or Great Western Trail or something like that. I hope it's lighter than that, and I think it's going to be. It looks lighter than that.
Right.
I mean, with dice rolling in it, it's not this. Usually heavy Euro games they don't use dice.
Unless it's Stefan Feld.
I guess so. But that's it. My number 7,
cool.
Pioneer Days from Tasty Metro.
I'm going to put it on the list as a possible crossover. For all three of us, I mean.
It is not. It is not. No. I mean, it sounds good and sounds interesting just to make my top 10, that's all.
Is it in your top 20?
Let's keep going.
Number 6.
Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Civilization, is not considered a great movie by any means.
What?
However, when I watched the movie, I don't know if you remember seeing the movie, at the very beginning of the movie, there's a scene.
Talking about the first one.
Is it the first one?
Angelina Jolie. I know,
Cradle
but the
of Life.
first set, not
Cradle
the
of
one
Life.
that's coming out.
This is like a Sam style intro. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, only because I'm being interrupted. Anyhow,
That's true, Sam.
So-
No, and you need to be quiet. You're the
Hush it.
one that's doing it.
at the beginning of this movie, you see
Lift
Lara
it.
Croft, and for some reason she's diving in the middle of the ocean, and there's like all these Greek columns all over the place, and it was like, wow, this is really cool. I wish that the game, if that was the whole movie, but then, action started and they were gone. But I really like that concept. Well, this game reminded me of that. As soon as I saw it, it's called, I think, Otis, O-T-Y-S, from a new designer, Claude Lucchini. Anyway, the thing I really like about this game is, first of all, it looks amazing, but secondly, it's from Pearl Games, and they make good games. It's like the future.
What was the name again?
Otis.
O-T-Y-S.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm really intrigued
Sure,
about
we're
this
saying
game,
that wrong, right? It'll be like O-T's or something.
Yeah.
but Pearl has made what's Deus.
Otis.
Deus.
Definitely not Deuce. I know we're like not sure how you pronounce Otis,
man,
but the
drop
other one is
the deuce. It's drop the deuce.
Hi.
Oh, we
I'm gonna mess up all yours. Okay, so anyway, this game, it's in the future, and you're like diving in the ocean to find things from the past to help your civilization. So you're just going in the ocean, and it looks gorgeous. Looks like it's a good middleweight Euro-style game. I'm very pumped about this one. As soon as I saw it, it was on the list. It just looks really
I
good.
must have missed this one because I'm usually drawn to games that pop visually, but I must have glazed over.
Yeah, but I think this is one of the ones that when we get it, we'll bring it back and we'll be like, let's try it out.
Okay.
Because I know you like Deus a lot, so I think that this would be one that we would probably
They're
play.
good
We'll
company.
see.
They are
Deus is a
good
good game, yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
It is.
Hey!
Let's make fun of you now.
Now, my number 6 is a game.
Not yet. Go ahead. Sorry.
My number 6 is one of those games that I looked at and said, that's going on the list. And it's going on the list because of its artist, and I love his work. Vincent Dutrait is the name of the artist. Alexandria is the game. Alexandria.
This is sucker for Vincent Dutrait lately, man.
I am. I'm sorry.
He'll see it and be like, list. Now let's find out what
Hey,
the
he's
game
my
is.
favorite. He's my favorite artist.
Talk about this. Okay. Okay. That's on the list. So what's the game like again? Yeah. That's exactly how it felt.
Alexandria was on my short list. I really.
Yeah, because I'm scrolling through the list. 809. I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, because that cover
And
looks.
just popped.
Yes.
Now I knew it was his artwork right off the beginning. Okay, now I'm going to look at it. And then the theme is you're trying to save books from the library at Alexandria
Right.
before it burns down.
That's cool.
That's a cool theme, right? So the hand management, variable player powers, that's really high on my list as far as mechanisms are concerned. So it's really firing on a lot of pistons for me. So I had to put it on my list. My number 6 by Ludi Creations, Alexandria.
I don't know if you know. Is this a co-op? You might not know that. So.
I don't.
I think off the top of my head that it was a
Think so.
competitive game. I know that the board is shrinking because the
You're trying to
library's
score
burning.
points, though, so I don't think it's.
Oh, yeah, probably
You're trying
not.
to score points by
Okay,
saving
okay,
them
just
as
curious.
most books.
Yeah, Sam's in. I'm getting like, get out! I got that book.
All right, my
Did
number.
I put you in the flames? I apologize.
My number 6 is a follow-up to a game I very much enjoyed from, I think, last year. No, the year before. The year before last year. And that was, the original game was Karuba, one of my favorite tile laying
That place
puzzle
down in-
games.
It's not.
That place down by Key Largo.
Karuba?
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about Jamaica.
No, I'm talking about Karuba.
Ooh, I wanna use
not
the
the same
shut
place.
I know you read the comments.
I did read the comments, and I don't care.
All
I
right,
don't know what he's
anyhow.
talking about. Karuba, the card game, is what I'm talking about. That's my number 6. It looks neat, and it looks like it's not the exact same thing. Everyone is kind of building their own little board, but the appeal, to me at least, from knowing the original game and liking the original game is immediately there. You're doing very, puzzly things as well in this one, but I like that it seems to come across a little more free form. In the original, there was the setup was identical for every player. And usually people will diverge, but it could happen that 2 people hit the same tempo in your discoveries at the same time. This one looks a little more free form and a smaller game, a card game. I'm really excited about
This
it.
game comes on a thumbnail.
No, that's Karuba Micro coming out next year.
Now the dice games first.
The dice game. There was
the
another.
dice game,
There was
and then
another
it's pocket
Karuba
game.
product. Oh, Karuba Junior,
Oh yeah,
which
you're
I
right. The
don't.
kid game.
I don't care for. But Karuba the card game does look really neat. I'm excited about it. That is my number 6.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5 is a game from Emperor S4 Games, and this company is on my radar right off the bat. Usually, I always take a second and third look at their games, and before I really decide whether or not it's going to be on my list. But they rise to the top almost automatically when I see that title,
Yes.
that company's name, Emperor S4. I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that they bring out. This one is called Mystery of the Temples. It has set collection, variable player powers, area control. Basically, you're trying to collect enough crystals to break these curses that are prevalent in the land between the temples and the forests. Has a very, what do you call that?
Mystical.
Yeah, mystical, but there's a certain kind of mysticism that's
That's sort of what I was thinking
it's,
too.
but anyway, it's where it's, man, I can't, that's bugging me. The
English?
relationship between, the mystical relationship between us and the land. What is that called?
Mother Nature.
No, I don't know. Anyway,
Death, fertilizer. Just go. Sorry. Hey.
Anyway, I like the idea that's behind it, and I like the way the game looks. I like a lot of the other stuff that they come out with. So that's pretty much. I guess they're kind of. I'm allowing them to rest on their laurels a little bit from the past.
Crown.
Yeah, the crowns.
Laurel crown.
Because I've liked what they've done in the past, so I'm hoping that this one is true. Now that Murder of Crows game is kind of messed up.
I would kill a million crows
Yes,
to,
or whatever.
to hang out with you a little
exactly.
bit longer.
That one.
That's
one.
A good, that's
yeah,
a good
no,
game.
that was not
I
a
would
good
stab
game.
every crow.
But my number 5, Mystery of the Temples. Looking forward to giving it a whirl.
All right. Is it me?
It is.
My number 5 is a follow-up, a retheme, a reworking of a game I very much enjoy from Koali called Power Boats. And this is
I knew this was gonna be on your list.
this is Power Ships. It's got a sci-fi theme now. You are racing in space, I guess. It seems like a very similar concept, but the designer went back and retweaked a couple of things. There's a few more special places on the board now. Still modular, but there's a little more happening for you to avoid, for you to encounter, for you to utilize to your advantage to sling around specific spots and try to win the race. It looks like a 2.0 version of Power Boats. I already really like Power Boats. This looks like it gives me more of what I liked already, and the theme's pretty cool. So I'll take it. That's Power Ships, my number 5.
This was on my short list. I I have actually played powerboats, but what got me interested in this one was the fact that the board is huge, right?
It is huge.
And it looks like you're gonna not do this move 3. It's like, vroom, vroom. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like.
It's kind of how it feels, yeah.
And there's not many racing games that do that. Most racing games are like a little slow moving around. This one looks like you just fly. And I'm cool with that. Also, it's space.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Altiplano or Altiplano. This is from DPL. This is the sequel to Orleans. That's why I'm pumped. Because Orleans, a bag building game. This is another one set in the Incan trading world with llamas and things like that. The designer, Reinhold Stockhausen, has done Orleans and another game I like, Siberia. I really like Orleans a lot. I'm basing this solely on that. But the whole bag building and pulling workers out, and here you have different spots and different places to put them and resources. I don't know. I just like this bag building thing. Maybe I'll get tired of it after a while, but not many games are coming out that are doing it.
Right.
There's probably less than 10. So this one is really high on my
Yeah,
radar.
that hasn't caught on nearly as much as a deck of cards doing it, right?
Right.
Deck building is everywhere, but bag building, yeah. Or dice building, right? Those two are
I
much
guess
rarer.
technically it's pool building because you're not building a bag. But
I guess so, yes, sure.
so anyhow, Altiplano.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is a game from NSKN Games. And they're kind of 50-50 for me on whether or not I like their games or not. But I usually give them a look if I see that they're bringing out a new game. Just because on the off chance, it's a 50-50 at this point. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. This one, the cover drew me in as well. It's called Dreamsgate College. It's got tile placement, which I'm a fan of. Variable player powers, huge fan of that. And, you guessed it, dice rolling. So basically you're rolling dice, you're drafting them in order to use those things to enable you to do different types of powers, to score points and that type of thing. You're basically trying to be the most prestigious
The best that ever was.
the most prestigious mage that has the best team of guys that go out and pillage and dungeon crawl and that type of stuff. So that's a very generalistic rundown of the theme, but I like the look of it. I want to give it a try because of that. I like all of the different mechanisms that are being employed. So we are looking at it to give it a whirl. So that's Dragon's Gate College from NSKN, my number 4.
My number 4 is a game that I'm super excited about, and I'm surprised this theme hasn't been done before, and that is Dinosaur Island. This is essentially Jurassic Park, the board
Yes,
game.
yes.
It's designed by Jonathan Gilmour, Brian Lewis. I think Brian Lewis hasn't done many games. Jonathan Gilmour, of course, is known for Dead of Winter and other games like that.
Wasteland Express.
Wasteland Express.
And Pandasaurus, their stuff lately has just been on point, right? Wasteland Express looks amazing. This game looks fun. You're building up you're like building your own amusement park.
Right.
Basically, you can have roller coasters and dinosaur things, and
I'll tell you what I like about Dinosaur Island, though. The 80s look. Like the...
Wait, are you trolling right now?
No, I'm
You
serious.
usually don't like this.
No, I
You
like
usually
that
don't like
look.
it when
no, he
80s.
doesn't know. He's talking about the
Like the
game looks like it was made
tongue-in-cheek 80s look.
But
Oh, okay. All
like
right.
the neon, like 80s look. It looks like like an 80s game.
Okay.
Yeah, not like a game made in the 80s, but
No. Right.
Okay.
Like a tongue-in-cheek.
Okay, I
The
got you.
font is very like,
I understand.
Kawabanga.
yeah, but I just like the theme. Like, you can have raptors if you want, but then you better have security guards and fences because they
have
can
to
get out
train
and eat
them.
the
You have to
people
be
coming
like-
to your park.
Blue?
Anyhow, I'm really pumped about the theme of this one. Very excited. So Dinosaur Island.
My number 4 is a game called Dragon Castle. And the thing that attracted me to this immediately was that it looks like a Mahjong set. It's not exactly a Mahjong set, but it looks inspired by
Those
one.
kind of tiles and stuff like
It's absolutely, yeah. It's got the tiles, chunky tiles, the sort of symbology you would find in a Mahjong set, but it's inspired by the solitaire Mahjong thing that you find in computers, which is not Mahjong, it just uses a Mahjong set. But it looks really neat. It looks like it takes that idea and actually wraps a game around it where you're taking some off of the structure you build, but then you do something with those tiles. You'll trigger powers, you'll collect sets, you'll build them in front of you, and then when you have a specific pattern, you flip them face down and put a little roof on them, and they look like a little building. It just looks really captivating to me, and I love that look, that aesthetic. I'm a sucker for that. So I'm really excited about this one. Dragon Castle, I hope that the game design lives up to those component renderings that we've seen so far, because if it does, I'm going to be all over it.
I probably saw this and saw abstract strategy.
Yeah, I mean, and it is going to be abstract, right? I mean...
No, but I mean, what's your description of it? That seems like the kind of abstract strategy game I would...
That you would like?
I might like it.
Anyway, my number 4, Dragon Castle.
Cool.
Number 3.
My number 3 is a game I haven't played at this table, me alone, from Portal Games. This is Alien Artifacts. Now, I'm really pumped about this one because of the whole 4X thing. And the designers actually, their whole Take a Train, Taste of Poland, those are like weird, quirky games that they have done. But this one really looks good. I've heard nothing but good from the people who play tested it. It professes to be a 4X card game, which I'm always extremely suspicious of. But maybe this time it's happened. And if someone can make it happen, it's Portal.
Yep.
I'm assuming I won't be able to understand the rule book, but that the game will be good.
Wow, shots fired.
Oh, come on. It's true.
All right, fine.
But the game itself looks really fun. 3, go. I won't interrupt, unlike the others.
My number 3 has already been
That's
mentioned.
a good game.
By Mr. Vassal. So we have one crossover, so I'll give you one there, Tommy. Can you guess what it is?
Well, actually, I only said I had 2 crossovers with you, so...
I know we have only one so far, right?
Then Otis.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, Z's going to put this down. Because you like Davis that much.
I do, and this theme sounds fantastic. It's a futuristic game in like a water world type setting where you are diving down into these ruins to... I don't know. I don't care what you're doing, man. I don't care what you're doing. It's a cool enough theme anyway, and the artwork immediately made me think of like an
What
abyss.
if it's like free diving?
Yes.
What if it's like free diving into the ruins? You're not actually going to pick anything up and bring it back.
You're just like seeing how long you
seeing
can
how
hold your
far you
breath.
can stay down there. Yeah.
Hey, but if you get to see stuff, I'm telling you, the look of this just looks great. Which is actually kind of a big shift because Deus was a great game, did not look great.
I like the look of Deus, but a lot of people don't like it.
Deus looked fine.
No, some people don't like it.
It's a bunch of cubes and wooden pieces all over a board.
This fjord, you say?
I know, right?
I didn't say that game looked good, okay? And I didn't say that Deus was a bad game. I'm just saying it didn't look fantastic, but this one really does.
OTs.
That's what we're calling it now?
Otius.
No, just call it Otis.
Otis. Otis doesn't sound right?
It probably is.
It sounds fantastic.
I will go out of my way to ask them.
I'm all over this game,
First question,
man, when
I'll
it
be like,
comes out.
excuse me.
How do you
pronounce
say
it?
it?
Say this game.
That's my number 3, OTs.
Otis. All right, my number 3 is I am not a big DC fan, but I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I do like
get 'em, Internet.
comic book type stuff. So unless it's like that really weird one where you're trying to make up your own, what is it, Sentinels of the Multiverse or whatever it is,
Yes.
the universe or whatever.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Ignore
I don't like that game. I just don't like it.
Get 'em, Internet.
I want a popular IP whenever I play comic book style games more often than not. Anyway, I digress. Number 3 is from ABBA, ABBA.
Oh.
Not the musical group, the actual board game company, ABBA
Dancing
Games,
Queen.
Mamma mia.
called Justice League: Dawn of Heroes.
Justice
And
League.
this looks.
Here I go.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Go.
That wasn't even good.
Come on, it was good. It made you laugh.
So, first of all, cooperative play. I'm liking that. It is a scenario or mission-based style game, which I also like. You're going to take your heroes, your DC heroes out and try to solve different problems that are going on in the city or in the land.
Not enough
I like
crackers.
that. Then you can also play a campaign style where there's a way for you to save the game and come back to it at a later time. I like that. Dice rolling, hand management, these are all things that I enjoy as well. It's got some pretty cool looking miniatures. I've seen only the 3D
miniatures.
rendered versions of it. No, it's a board game that just employs miniatures. It's not a miniatures game from what I can tell. But I really enjoy the look of the renderings that I've seen for the models. So I'm looking forward to this one. I want to give it a try. That's Justice League: The Dawn of Heroes, my number 3.
Cool.
Number 2.
My number 2 is a game called Santa Maria.
Oh, come on, man. Santa Maria.
As soon as I saw this, I knew it was on your list.
I know, and you know why, right?
Because it's made by Aporta Games.
Aporta Games puts it out. It's inspired by those roll and ride games from them that I really enjoy.
Is that Malo? St. Malo? Is that one of them?
No, they put out
that's
the,
from
they put out Avenue. They put out the
Okay, I got you.
Doodle City.
Yeah.
This is inspired by them, by those games.
I'm sorry.
But this looks like a proper resource management game.
Looks good.
Did you look at it?
This was on my short list.
This does not look
I
like
didn't put it on because I was like,
opposed
Z
to
got this
it.
it
one
doesn't
covered.
look like a dinky roll and write game,
As
and I
opposed
don't
to
say
an
that
improper.
in a defeatist way. I like those games, but this looks like they took those concepts and wrapped a game with a solid amount of stuff going on. And I love family weight Euros that give me something new. I'm all over this game, and they've done me no wrong yet. That company is on fire for me. Destination X not included. Santa Maria, my number 2. Really psyched about this one. Cannot wait. Claiming it, fellas. You guys are not going to care. My number 2.
Well, I mean, there's so many games coming out. Yeah, sure.
That was like, yeah, whatever.
Your
Your turn.
All right, my turn. My number 2 is a game that's, I first heard about it at Gamma this year when they told us about it. CGE told us about it. And it is a space exploration game with, again, you called it dice rolling. And that, strangely enough, Board Game Geek, that's the only mechanism they have. It is dice
all you
rolling.
do.
So you just roll dice. All right, your turn. Your turn.
You don't like
Your
count.
turn.
You don't like organize them. You don't
I know,
actually
you just
use them
roll
for anything.
dice.
You just roll dice.
Yeah, but it's also a space exploration game. You are drafting dice, so that's another cool thing about it. Is the whole card drafting
What
thing.
is it?
It's called Pulsar 2849. Thanks for keeping me on point there. Appreciate it.
Is this CG?
Yeah,
Yes.
CGE Pulsar 2849. It's the one that they didn't have a name for actually when they were telling people about it at Gamma.
Right.
But since they've added that name to it, I saw it at what was it? I think Origins. I think it was Origins. And that just rekindled my desire to try it out. You're drafting dice to take actions to discover, explore different parts of the board, and then score points, I think. So that's about all I can find out. I've been wanting to give this a whirl ever since I heard about it earlier this year. Pulsar 2849, my number 2.
CG is pretty good. I mean, if they come out with a game other than Z, most people like it.
Yeah.
Other than me too. I don't like a whole lot of their games.
I like fewer than you because I don't like their little shoot 'em up game either.
Adrenaline?
Not that much. You know, it was okay. I played it once. I was like, yeah, cool. But
Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is another game from Pandasaurus, designed by a designer. I'm not usually a huge fan of all his games, Scott Alms, but when they showed this off at our Gen Con show, I was on board right away, and that is Coaster Park.
oh yes.
My goodness, do I like the idea of making roller coasters.
Huge roller coaster tycoon. That was the other game.
Well,
you played
this
in
is
college.
like, I mean, a 3D roller coaster.
Yeah, but you guys,
game.
when you were going through, you should have known this would be on my list.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
super
I did.
pumped.
I figured,
I
yeah.
saw this one at Gen Con, and they were talking about it. Maybe it wasn't at Gen Con. Maybe it was
It's definitely on our show at Gen Con.
pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
They rolled the marble.
That's what
Amazing.
I thought. Yes. Yeah, that's
I
cool.
really like the idea of bidding for the different pieces, and then you're hoping the physics actually works that your roller coaster goes. It's a great combo, so really pumped about this one.
That's cool.
And the Coaster Park, I keep wanting to say Roller Coaster Tycoon, but that's not right.
Coaster Park.
And finally, number 1.
All right, so before we launch into this, actually, let's recap crossovers here. I've had one crossover with Tom
You will have
for
two.
OTs.
I said 2, and we're going to have 2.
We will have 2, possibly. And you guys haven't had any crossover yet, or you did one as well.
We will have 2.
What was the one
You
we
had one
crossed over
already,
with?
right?
No, he crossed over with you.
Yeah, I haven't crossed over with
He
Tom.
hasn't crossed over. I said 4 with Sam, but I was incorrect.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
very
right.
incorrect.
I thought
You're really wrong.
I thought
yeah.
since-
Yeah,
as much
please,
as-
please tell me which ones.
I thought Zooloretto Duel might make your list because you like Zooloretto / Aquaretto
Right.
a lot. And I
Carcassonne Duel
thought
is what
Dinosaur
you meant.
Island was one that would really crank you because I know you like Jurassic Park and all that.
Okay. Nah. I didn't look into it that much.
Do it.
All right, my number one is from Portal Games. It is the 4X card game that Tom mentioned earlier. And yes, it does actually feel like a 4X card
I'll
game.
buy that. I mean, you guys
because
convinced me.
crossover.
I was definitely leery about that whole concept because they came up to me and they were like, "Oh, you've got to try this game. You love 4X games. This is a 4X card game that takes place in
Sam
an
was already
hour."
running for the exit.
And I was like, "Oh, no, this is not going to happen. This is impossible. This is impossible." Yes, you know?
Yes.
Come on, man. Why you got to be so deadpan, bruh?
No, that was
Too much caffeine
I
in
like
me.
the
really-
Nazi check like.
No more coffee before top 10. It's the new rule.
Anyway, no. I tried this first at BGG Con last year, so it's almost been a full year since I've played this
That's when I played
originally.
it, right.
Yeah, because I told you
not
to
that-
go play it.
That's right. Yeah, you did.
Me and
Sam
Mark
grabbed me by the
Street.
collar and was like, "You will play this game."
It wasn't too far off of that.
Yeah,
because both me and Mark
when I
Street,
cleaned myself off, and then I went and played it.
me and Mark Street played it together at the same time, and then both of us really liked it. So I knew that it would be on your radar at the very least.
Yes.
So that's why I implored you to go do it. It's card drafting, first of all, great. 4X, cool. It plays in 60 minutes and it gives you that epic nature feel that a 4X game gives you. I don't know how to explain it, but they pulled it off. And that was back then. They've made revisions and improvements to it. You know how Ignacy is. He will not release a game until he feels like it's ready.
Right.
You know, with, rule book woes, aside.
Notwithstanding, yeah.
But I want to see how much it's changed. I want to see how much it's improved because I really enjoyed it way back when. So I'm really hoping that they've hit it out of the park here. So my number one at Essen is Alien Artifacts by Portal.
Yes.
Okay,
You want me to?
do your number one.
Fine, yes. Alien Artifacts is my number one as well. I'll tell you why. Because Sam almost hit me in the face one time. And I was like, fine, I will put it on the list. Because I don't want a repeat of
The incident of 2010.
soiled Alien Artifacts playtesting.
Oh, that's disgusting. You're like sitting there in it, playing the card game, and everybody's like, what is that smell? I don't know.
What is going on here, guys?
Anyway, Alien Artifacts, I really liked it when I played it. That was a while ago. I'm thinking it's going to be tighter, better, polished.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily associate this idea of like epic. I think a lot of people think epic equals long.
No. Well, for me, usually it does.
Right, but epic is, I mean, if we're talking about the concept of a game, the setting, how big the scope is, you could have an epic dice game, It's a tricky seesaw kind of balance, you know what I mean?
Yes.
This doesn't necessarily, to me, feel whatever epic is, but I really liked it. I don't care about that buzzword. It just feels good, and you feel like you're building up. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And this did it back
Man,
then.
I'm super pumped about this
So
now.
I'm psyched. That's my number one, Alien Artifacts. We have a three-way crossover. Tom, you were right.
My whole idea of epic, and the reason I usually attribute epic to a longer games, it really goes back to playing games. I never played it, but just looking at games of epic Warhammer 40K, which have the smaller scale minis, and you like have a whole battalion
It's like
on your
a
side.
scope thing.
Or yeah, it's a huge, and it's like this 12-foot long table or a 6-foot long table, and these two sides are going at it. That's epic to me, that kind of thing. So to condense that into like a 45-minute or an hour thing, that's an impossibility for me. I'm not going to feel epic with a small little dinky game. But this one kind of pulled it off.
Okay.
My number one is a game I saw last year demoed to me.
Has anyone mentioned it?
Yeah, it crosses over with Sam because I am a big superhero fan.
Oh,
and that
okay,
is
cool.
the Justice League Dawn of Heroes. These designers. The only other game to design has been Portal of the Morph, which we played.
Really? I didn't make that
That was a
connection.
weird.
That was
like a weird.
game. It's cool though, but it was weird.
Yeah, it was like a tower.
Yeah, tower
briefing. They
defense.
come along and you have your heroes running around like, I gotta kill these guys, run over here.
Yeah.
It was a little fiddly at points,
was.
right? But it was a really cool concept, especially in the middle where you had these enemies falling into a tray and that's where they came out. Really like that concept. But this one just looks great. I don't know if it's ever going to come to America because of licensing and such. See, right? So I'm hoping.
Coming in someone's suitcase to America.
Hopefully.
Oh,
Never assume. Never
it's
assume.
happening. Okay,
Never
this one. This is
I'm
one of the
gonna-
first ones I'm interested in. The guy last year, he was so excited talking to me about it, got me excited. You know, again, I do like Marvel better than Justice League, but I don't care. Superheroes.
Get him, internet.
What is it? Who cares?
The internet.
I did say I hate
don't
Justice League.
You take that, cut it out.
I hate
Get him.
I hate Justice League.
Go.
Anyway, very pumped about this game. So there's really a lot of great games coming out, and there's going to be probably 5 or 6 games that none of us thought about but are amazing. That are going
I'm
to be
expecting easily like 1 or 2 of these games to be garbage. Because it happens, right?
does, yeah,
I mean, we
every
do
year.
these lists,
Oh,
and then
absolutely,
like
yeah.
that happened to me with a game that I reviewed not so long ago about.
Well, that happened just this week. I saw the artwork. I saw the cards on the internet when we actually got it. It was a
played
game
it,
that
you were
was
like,
I
"Oh,
was
right,
expecting a game like
right,
this,
right," and it was not
And I got a
very
game like this.
Well, you'll see when we're
No.
talking. Anyway,
No, you've already seen.
But yeah, so a couple of these will be bad, but
Maybe
there's going to
Hopefully.
be maybe.
Well, no, not hopefully.
Hopefully
not.
Maybe, but there will be 5, 6, 8, 10 games that are fantastic, come out of nowhere, and just got lost a little bit in the shuffle. That's one of my favorite things about the Spiel, the convention, is that you do find those games that come out of nowhere and they blow you away.
7 out of 10 are dice rolling games.
That is weird.
You're a monster.
We'll be there at Essen. Come by and say hi to us. We'll be in Hall 7.
Please do.
We have a live show. We'll put our schedule up. It should be up by now on our Board Game Geek forum, so you can go there and see who will be at the booth when. And good rule of thumb is first hour of every day and last hour of every day. We're all there to say hi to you. It's gonna be fun.
Otherwise, you're rolling the dice.
That's true. Oh, we're ending this. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks, everybody.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side of the Atlantic.